So, ladies and gentlemen, it is the political clash of the titans. On one side, you have Texas. On the other side, you have the federal government. Now, the federal government has decided the border is open. Mass, unregulated, unrestricted migration is A-OK with the Biden administration. They are not enforcing nearly any of the laws on the books as it relates to migration. People can come across the border unrestricted, unregulated, and there's almost no oversight. Texas is saying, wait a minute, you are being negligent in your duty. We have the largest border with Mexico of any state in the Union. We have a right to defend ourselves from this invasion. And so Texas said, if you're not going to do it, we'll do it. And they started putting up fortifications. They started putting up these cargo containers with barbed wire on top. Lots of barbed wire fencing areas, barbed wire fields. And they said, you will go this far and no further. You are done. And they have kept federal agents out of these areas because the federal agents were clipping the barbed wire and actually facilitating people to get through illegally. So, the Supreme Court heard both sides, and in one of the biggest betrayals to the American people and the state of Texas and the rule of law and the Constitution and the founding of this country, John Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett made a decision that is so reckless and irresponsible and stupid and boneheaded. They decided that the globalists win, that Texas doesn't have a right to defend its borders. The federal government is free to go in and allow mass migration of these illegal aliens unrestricted, unmolested. Texas doesn't have a say, which I think is one of the worst decisions that they've made. And my only question is, what do they have on Amy Coney Barrett? What do they have on John Roberts? Who in their right mind? No sane, sentient person with a pair of eyeballs and a functioning pulse would look at this and say, yeah, you know what? Texas is in the wrong here. The federal government should be allowed to open up the border, which directly harms Texas. So they defied that order. They said, we're not complying with this because this hurts the people of Texas. Now, I know a lot of people online are celebrating. They're saying, yes, we stand with Texas. In fact, 14 other states so far at the time of me recording this are standing with Texas. And they support Texas 100%. Greg Abbott released this statement. This is, the federal government has broken the compact between the United States and the states. The executive branch of the United States has a constitutional duty to enforce federal laws protecting states, including immigration laws on the books now. President Biden has refused to enforce those laws and has even violated them. The result is that he has smashed records for illegal immigration. Despite being put on notice in a series of letters, one of which I delivered to him by hand, President Biden has ignored Texas's demands that he perform his constitutional duties. Number one, Biden has violated his oath to faithfully execute immigration laws enacted by Congress. Instead of prosecuting immigrants for the federal crime of illegal entry, Biden has sent his lawyers into federal court to sue Texas for taking action to secure the border. Number two, Biden has instructed his agencies to ignore federal statutes that mandate the detention of illegal immigrants, illegal aliens. The effect is to illegally allow their en masse parole into the United States. 3. By wasting taxpayer dollars to tear open Texas's border security infrastructure, President Biden has enticed illegal immigrants away from the 28 legal entry points along the state's southern border, bridges where nobody drowns, into the dangerous waters of the Rio Grande. Under President Biden's lawless border policies, more than 6 million illegal immigrants have crossed into our southern border in just 3 years. That is an invasion. 6 million people. 6 million. That is startling. That is more than the population of 33 different states in this country. This illegal refusal to protect the states has inflicted unprecedented harm on the people all across the United States, and and the people in Texas. James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, and other visionaries who wrote the U.S. Constitution foresaw that states should not be left to the mercies of a lawless president who does nothing to stop external threats like cartels smuggling millions of illegal aliens across the border. This is why the framers included both Article 4, Section 4, which promises that the federal government shall protect each state against invasion, and Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3, which acknowledges the state's sovereign interest in protecting their borders. Arizona v. United States, 567 U.S. 387 419 in 2012. Justice Scalia dissenting. The failure of the Biden administration to fulfill the duties imposed by Article 4, Section 4 has triggered Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3, which reserves to this state the right to self-defense. For these reasons, I have already declared an invasion under Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3 to invoke Texas's constitutional authority to defend and protect itself. That authority is the supreme law of the land and supersedes any federal statutes to the contrary. The Texas National Guard, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and other Texas personnel are acting on that authority as well as state law to secure the Texas border. That is from the office of Greg Abbott, who is the governor of Texas. Now, that's a very powerful statement, and it's a great statement. I love to see it. I hope he continues to fight and push back. And I agree with the people that say that he should do this. The people of Texas have every right to defend themselves. They have every right to keep an invasion off of their shores. However, the people online, I think that they are putting way too much faith in this. I'll explain. I've seen people online that are demanding that the Texas National Guard agents, that if they are federalized by the Biden administration, that they should refuse the order. That they should just simply ignore it. You can't do that. I know that people are going to say, well, under this administration, under these series of circumstances, what else can you do? I'll tell you what's going to happen. When these agents are federalized, they are going to follow orders. And they are going to take down the barricades, and they're going to take down the barbed wire, and things are going to go back to business as usual. There is no reason why Greg Abbott couldn't have done something years ago. There is no reason why this is suddenly in an election year happening in the way that it is. What is going to end up happening, most likely, is that Greg Abbott is going to stand down behind the scenes while publicly decrying Biden, decrying Democrats, making it a political voting election topic. Oh, I did everything I could, guys. Texas stood up and Texas fought to the end. We stood up against the Bidens, but you're going to have to go vote if you want this to be fixed. And honestly, I think that is the most reasonable and intelligent and sane thing to do. Because you have people that are literally calling for these Texas National Guard agents to violate a direct order from the commander-in-chief. But they read articles about, the media and other corporations and private citizens are trying to undermine Trump in the same way, thinking that he's unfit or he's bad. Now, in their case, they're absolutely wrong, but they're trying to do the same thing. Here's the bottom line. If Texas decides not to take down the barriers, defies the National Guard, they will get momentary support. I will continue to support them because I think what they're doing is right. But I think the sentiment is going to shift because the media hasn't really been paying attention to this. When the media starts getting its propaganda wheels turning, they are going to come at this hard. They're going to do the kids in cages thing. They're going to come at this with all piss and vinegar, and it could end up backfiring in a way. Because a lot of these people from Democrat districts, they care about immigration. All these illegals are showing up in buses and they're causing a problem. But at the end of the day, the Democrats are very manipulative. They're very skeevy. They're very scummy. They're notorious liars. So they could bring back the kids in cages thing, which I realize for most people, you're like, oh my God, that's like the dumbest thing in the world. How could people be genuinely that stupid? Well, it was effective. And the Democrats, I think, are going to try to find something like that. And so if, for example, they don't back down, it's very likely that this is going to be a talking point. Lawless Republicans are trying to, take over the country again. And I'm not saying this to give validity to what they're saying. I'm saying that the eye on the prize should be defeating Joe Biden in November, electing Donald Trump. If you put everything into this, if Texas is like, we're going to secede, and we're going to, if you start doing that, you're going to alienate independent voters. You're going to start pushing them away. I don't enjoy saying this, by the way. I know some people be like, well, this guy is... no, trust me. Trust me. It pains me to say this. I am not enjoying saying this because my instinct... my instinct is that Greg Abbott should deputize the people in those areas, the citizenry, pull up the fucking militia, get some good old boys, some cowboys in their fucking trucks, deputize them, and deal with this in the real way, in the old way, in the Western way. That would be my solution. Get these pieces of crap that are coming over here off of the land, get them out. Like a live streamer to somebody who came in unannounced to cause problem, get them out. That would be my solution. But I understand that my opinion is very likely in the minority. Because most people want a sense of normalcy in some way. So, while my approach would be a little more extreme to some people, I think for the sake of the election, which is happening, by the way, in, 9 months? We've got 9 months about. Could be more. Let's see. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. And then it is at the beginning of November. I think, isn't that? Let me look up the date. Oh, yeah, it is November. It's November. What is election day 2024? I just want to be precise. What the hell? What is election day 2024? It says Monday, January 15th to Tuesday, September 24th. What the? Just give me an answer. When is election day? Oh, November 5th. Okay, perfect. November 5th. I thought so. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say that I appreciate the people that are standing with Texas. I stand with Texas. I want Donald Trump to win. I want to fix the border. I want to get all of this under control. And Joe Biden is one of the worst presidents I've ever seen. And the fact that people are still willing to vote for Joe Biden is frankly disheartening. But I want to say that it is really awesome to see so many people come out and support Texas. Because they goddamn deserve it. Anyway, that'll do it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.